Hey guys, um, Ari here. Today I'm just gonna do something a little bit more different than what I usually do. I wanted to get this topic off of my chest because I feel like it's rarely relevant in Valorant at the moment, and a lot of people have a misconception of like ranked in general, whether if it's for you, if it's not for you, if you're not having the best time of playing ranked. And I just wanted to go through my experience and then just share my thoughts on if you should or shouldn't play ranked in the first place. So, first things first, a lot of people who do ranked is a very competitive, it's a very competitive culture. It's not for everyone, and there are a lot of signs. I've dealt with a lot of toxicity in my past. I played League of Legends for like 5 years, and I've experienced like the lowest of the low people possible. And so, throughout my experience of playing League of Legends and playing Valorant, there's a very big contrast of like the toxicity in League and the toxicity in ranked. But for me personally, I had a more enjoyable experience playing ranked in Valorant because as long as I was communicating what I was saying and what I was feeling, I was able to make a lot of plays during like my videos. You guys already saw, like some of the clips that I've shown where like me, I literally said to my Omen, "Yo, Omen, flash this part for me, flash this barrier. I'm gonna ult in, and I'm gonna get like a multi-kill or something like that." Or, "Yo, play off of me, play off of this." You know what I mean? So I communicated how I felt, and then once we made that play together, it felt better. And to me, just doing it by myself and then probably dying without having help from my team, right? So here are some of the signs that I think that you're probably not ranked is most likely not for you. And I'm just here to like just talk. Obviously, this is from my own experience. This is not in any way, shape, or form saying that you should never play ranked or you should always play ranked. This is just completely my own opinion, and you can take it as you will from there. So, the first, the first sign, if you don't have the motivation to play ranked a lot, and the very very truth is at the end of the day is it's consistency and hard work that literally pays off. People like Tens, people like Envy Crashies and Envy Food, if you looked at leaderboards from last act from Radiant, majority of the players that were in the top 10 had over 80 to 90 games played. And let's just say that Tens or Crashies or Food, whoever they are, they had about 96 wins or 80 wins, right? That's just 80 games for that they won. Now imagine how many games they lost. So let's say because they hit Radiant, they won more than they lost. So they would have had maybe like 50, 60 losses. So you're looking at about like 130, 140 games overall played in order to get to Radiant. That's a lot of games, especially for Valorant where you're consistently playing, right, and getting a lot of wins. And so some people actually take it to like 200 games, 300 games, and the more experience and the more you play, the better you are at the game. And so for people who only play for maybe like an hour a day, you're not really going to get far. The truth of it, at the end of the day is that you have to play a lot in order to actually be better at the game, not just for yourself but for everyone around you, right? So you have to play like at least like 6 to 7 hours. In my opinion, this is again my opinion, I feel like if you want to play ranked consecutively and if you want to get better, you have to grind. You have to play 6 to 7 hours. You have to have you have to have a whole session just grinding ranked. And so some of those days you're gonna lose. You're not gonna do well, you're gonna have low performance, but that's just what grinding is. And the reason why you need to grind is because if you go on a really big win streak for those 6 hours that you play, you will get a massive increase in rank. But if you just play 1 hour a day and you lose like maybe one game and win one game and the next day you repeat the same process, you're never going to get anywhere. You're not extending the amount of time that you're playing the game, and you're not increasing your chances of winning, right? If you play 10 games a day, let's say around, right? If you play 10 games a day and you win 6 of them and you lose 4 of them, eventually that will rack up into you grinding and winning a lot more than if you were to win one and lose one. So that's number one. Consistency, hard work, 100%. Experience is needed if you want to play rank, Second, you have to be able to take criticism. You're not always going to be perfect. You have to strive to be better, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to criticize you for your plays, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to shit on you. Honestly, they're not going to, they're going to let you know what you did wrong, and you have to take that into consideration and understand that when people say that to you, maybe that's something you have to improve on. Let's say you're in I don't know, like a 2v3 situation or a 3v2 situation, right? If you don't peak, like if you're like third person, let's say it's a 3v2, right? and there's two people that are trying to retake a site. You peek into those two people and die. Now it's a 2v2. So you not only did you just decrease your chances of winning, but you just made it even for the enemy team. So if they get a 1-for-1 trade, they already won the round. But if you stayed alive, maybe you would have been able to help them out in the trades and you would have been able to secure the round. That's just an example of a lot of bad habits that I even see, even among Immortal players that I've played against. A lot of them have bad habits of just ego peeking into people and then throwing rounds, and then they just lose the round completely, lose their economy, and then it snowballs, and then boom, they're lost the round, lost the game. And it's a really, really bad habit because everyone wants to get those kills and everyone wants to shine, but sometimes you really have to take it back one notch at a time. And you have to realize that it's not about you, it's about your team, and securing the round is way more important. And so you can't be like, if people criticizing you saying, man, you really should not have thrown, like you need to play more passive next time, maybe that's something that you need to take into consideration. Maybe you need to play a little bit more passive and understand your limits of playing the game. Third, in my experience, the one thing that I've always saw is you have to believe in yourself. If you have to 100%, you have to believe in yourself. If you ever want to get anywhere, you have to, it's called discipline, and you can't, some days you're not going to want to grind ranked, and that's completely fine. At least play deathmatch, at least play aim labs, train, warm up, like do something if you want to make sure that you want to get to a rank that you really want to grind to. Maybe if you want to play aim labs, not grid shot, like actual aim labs where you're doing every single exercise possible, tracking, flicking, everything. You have to be able to do all those exercises in order if you actually want to get anywhere in the game. Overall, I feel like the majority of the time with people who ever always say like, man, ranked is really not for me, are the ones that just don't play enough. And I'm not saying that as like a bad thing or anything. I'm just saying like people always, I've seen the majority of the time, even some people complain in deathmatch too. People will be like, why are people try-harding in deathmatch? And it's like, what do you mean try-harding in deathmatch? Like, I don't understand that concept of someone try-harding in deathmatch. It's about just warming up your gun skills, right? And you just have to play a lot. And honestly, it's just as simple as that. If you play way more than anyone else, then eventually you'll get somewhere. If you're actually very devoted, you're motivated. And another thing that I found that if a lot of you want to grind rank is what I did, and one of my friends actually went to for advice. I asked him, hey man, you got to Immortal so fast, how did you do it? And my friend told me, just insta-lock whoever you want, just insta-lock them, it doesn't matter. Just insta-lock them, pick them, and then do well with them. At the end of the day, no one's gonna, like, there's no system in place to stop you from insta-locking the person that you want. And so for me, I'm a raised judge main, right? And so I want to show my skills when I'm playing raised judge, and it's really hard because a lot of people will criticize me, and they're not gonna like my style. But at the end of the day, it's just something that you have to live with. And so what I did is that that's what I did. I took my friend's advice. I insta-lock raised for every single day. And ranked, I played from I woke up at like 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. and I played all the way up until I don't know. I played all the way up until like 2 p.m. and so I grinded a lot of hours playing the game. I would just play Raze, I would just hone my skills, and I just insta-locked her, and I just played well. And eventually, I went from Gold 2, and then I went to Immortal 2. One of my best achievements in the game by far. It was insane how much I've grown as a person. And I wasn't just judging, by the way. Like, I wasn't only specifically just using a judge. I was actually like taking people's guns as well. Like if I was supposed to fight long range, I would take the Phantom, or I would take the Vandal, and I would take their guns and I would use that against them. So I wasn't only using the judge. I would also like adapt to the playstyle, and maybe sometimes I would operate and see if I can get kills that way. But overall, I was able to secure a lot of wins for myself. I was extremely dedicated to the game, and I feel like a lot of people nowadays just don't have that. And so if you're a type of person to make excuses for yourself, and you're a type of person that is very scared of ranked in general, I understand completely. Like, it's a very tough place to be. It's a very, very tough community to be at. It's a very tough culture overall, like, to just be a part of, because there's a lot of criticism and there's a lot of hate. and it's a very competitive environment. And if you're not someone to take criticism well, and if you're not someone to have that drive and motivation to get better, then at the end of the day, it's just going to impede your skills into actually getting better at the end of the day. So you have to believe in yourself. You have to be consistent. You have to, like, put in the work in order to get better, and you have to play a lot. That's not even a secret. It's just the truth, and a lot of people just don't want to hear that. But I just want to, like, say that because that's just how it is. And I feel like if you're not someone to do that, then maybe ranked isn't for you, and maybe you should be better off playing like normals or casuals and playing with friends like Spike Rush or Escalation, or playing deathmatch a lot more until you feel comfortable into playing ranked. Other than that, if you are a competitive player like myself and you actually want to get better, then I honestly wish nothing but the best for you. I hope this video helped you guys in some type of way. I know I struggle with ranked a lot in terms of motivation, but I was able to bounce back. So if you guys liked the video, leave a comment, subscribe, and talk to you guys later. Thank you so much.